Hi, everybody, and welcome to Faces in the Field. My name's Adam Darengowski. I work with the communications team here at Miller Pipeline. Faces in the Field is, of course, where we highlight the efforts of one of our team members making it happen out on the job site. Today, that team member is Hobbs. He's a foreman from Indiana. Thanks for coming on Faces in the Field.
Yep, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, let's start at the start. How did you find your way into the natural gas industry, and what has your kind of path to Miller Pipeline been like?
So I kind of got introduced into the natural gas industry through my father-in-law and my brother-in-law. They both worked at Miller for some time. My father-in-law was a foreman for quite a while for Miller, and he's now an inspector. But they kind of helped me get on just over 5 years ago. I had zero experience in the natural gas industry. I worked on cars at the dealership before this, but I decided to give it a try and come over and started a labor on the bottom and kind of worked hard and, worked my way up as a foreman now. So
what is that part of the good parts about this industry is that you can start here without much experience and really find a success story out of it?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I know, like, talking to a lot of the higher ups, the GFs and the supers, and even the guys that are high up in the office that run, the run Miller, everybody has pretty well started on the bottom as a laborer for most part. Everyone started in the field, and and as long as you are willing to put in the work and willing to learn, I think you can definitely come in with zero experience and definitely work your way up. I labored for just over 2.5 years, and then I got a crew. I've been a foreman for just over 2.5 years, so you can definitely do it if you put in the work and you want to learn, and you show up like you're supposed to and put in the effort. Definitely.
Absolutely. Now, over those 5 years, what have you found to be the most enjoyable part of your job?
I'd say the most enjoyable part is probably, probably doing good work and talking to the customers and then appreciating the work that you're doing. You run into some people that are kind of aggravated that you're, tearing their yard up or whatever, but you get those people that are really appreciative, for doing good quality work, good cleanup, and not having to come back and fix things later. That's probably the thing I enjoy the most is just, doing good quality work and being appreciated by, the people around me.
You're in a leadership role out in the field. We put a lot of responsibility on our foremen, and they handle it amazingly. How important is it for you to kind of set the tone, both in attitude, but also with your work and your dedication to quality for your crew?
It's very important, because if I don't, set the tone and I don't show my guys how to work or how what needs to be done, or the right way, then they're gonna kind of just follow in my steps and slack off. So if I'm lazy one day, my guys are gonna be lazy too. So you gotta train your guys the right way, do the right thing. Be out with your guys. But I know what it's like coming in the industry and not know anything. So I definitely take pride in training my guys right and make sure they're doing the right job.
Cool. Are you still racing?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me about that and how you got into it and where you're at right now.
So I race circle track dirt. My family has raced dirt track since my great grandpa. They've been racing, it's generations. So I grew up, I was probably at the racetrack before a year old. Kind of grew up around it. My uncle and my grandpa were big racers. Then my dad raced, and then I kind of got into it. I raced go-karts in high school, and then got into it myself. And it kind of just been like a family, tradition. It's what we do. So that's what we do in our free time.
That's awesome. Well, we have a program here that reminds us to be safe. I'm sure it's valuable on the racetrack as well. It's called What I Live For. So, what do you live for?
I live for definitely my family, my wife, Mackenzie, my daughter, Marley. She turns 2 here in 2 months. I live for my family, my friends. I definitely want to go home the same way, I come into work. So I definitely take safety very seriously. Yeah, I've had a couple, not accidents at work, but I've had accidents at home on things that's kind of like, and I've kind of implemented some of the safety stuff from work at home. I've taken it home with me now more. I'm a little safer now, and but yeah, I live for my family and my friends. So
good for you. Well, we like to end every Face in the Field with some rapid fire questions. I give you a couple options. You just tell me what sounds the best. Does that sound okay?
all right.
All right, let's start out with your job site pet peeve.
Job site pet peeve is definitely have your cones and the wheel chocks and the signs out as soon as you get out of the vehicles. It wears me out if you guys don't get their cones and signs out right away.
Step one, that's right. Work in the spring, summer, winter, or fall?
Definitely the fall, for sure. Fall.
More temperate?
Yeah, a little more temperate. The spring is nice, but the spring seems like it's always raining.
Raining constantly. New tools or day off?
New tools, for sure.
There you go. You're a working guy. Well, I think I know the answer to this one. Shaded protective glasses or clear?
Shaded, for sure.
And then finally, your favorite core value and why?
My favorite core value is probably reputation. I think having a good reputation is everything. It's how everybody sees us is on like the work that we do and the quality work and the reputation that we have as a company is everything. If we don't have a good reputation, we're not going to have any business. And I think that goes for the same as ourselves as people, even outside of work. Your reputation's everything.
Absolutely. Well, Cy, thank you so much for coming on Face in the Field. I really appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
He's Cy Hobbs. He's a foreman out of Indiana. If you want to join Cy's team, be sure to log on to MillerPipelineCareers.com. You can see all of our open positions and apply there as well. Follow us on social media. We post jobs, industry news, all kinds of valuable information there. And then if you need your Miller gear, be sure to go to the MillerPipelineStore.com. We've got hard hats, t-shirts, vests, all kinds of different gear that you can get your hands on. Well, this has been Face in the Field. We will see you next month.